Hey, this is Parker with Magnum Electric Bikes, and today we're going to be going over how to build your Pilot mid-drive electric bike. Tools that will be needed for today's assembly are going to be a set of hex wrenches, a 15mm open-end wrench or pedal wrench, an 8mm open-end wrench, some clippers for the packaging. Inside the accessories box, we're going to have our pedals, keys, and charger. So first, we're going to start off by installing our handlebars onto our fork. To do this, we'll use our 5mm hex wrench to pull the cap off of the fork. We'll then open our stem, slide it on top of our fork, and tighten again using our 5mm wrench. And we'll tighten this loose enough that we're able to turn our handlebars and tight enough to where there's not any play between the upper and lower of the fork. We can check this by grabbing both ends and trying to jiggle it. You can see it's not tight enough here yet, so I'll continue tightening this down. Give it one last little turn. We are good to go. We'll focus on getting our handlebars in line with our wheel a little bit later. For now, we're going to install the front wheel on our bike. To install the front wheel on our bike, we'll start by removing our through axle from our fork using our 6mm wrench. Pull that out, go grab our front wheel. We'll make sure that our rotor of our wheel is on the same side as our brake caliper, so that would be on the left side as if you're riding your bike. We'll lift the wheel into the dropouts. Make sure the rotor is in between our pads. Slide our through axle back through and begin tightening it down. Next, we'll work on installing our front fender. To do this, we'll need our 4mm hex wrench and our 8mm open-end wrench. We'll start by removing the bolts through these clamps around the lowers of our fork. Making sure not to drop any of the small pieces after we pull it out. And we'll also remove the bolt on the upper part of our fork here using our 5mm wrench. After removing those pieces, we'll slide our fender into place. Secure the top using our 5mm bolt that we pulled out. And we will tighten this just enough to have a little bit of room to make adjustments if needed. And we will finish tightening it down later. Then we'll attach the fender to the lowers of our fork. To do this, we can start by loosening the little 3mm bolt on the end of this plastic bit here to give us a little bit of room to make adjustments. That a few turns. Make so we can slide it around and pivot it if needed. We'll then get that in position with the lower clamp of our fork. Slide our bolt through, put our washer and nut on the other side. And again, we're not tightening this fully at this point, as we still may need to make adjustments to the position of our fender. We'll do the same with the other side. We'll then check for any rubbing between our fender and our front tire here. We'll give it a little spin. Listen for any rubbing. And if there is no rubbing, we are good to tighten all of our hardware into the position that it is. We'll start with our top bolt here, then my lower clamp here. Finally, the other side. Then I'll check for rubbing one last time to make sure the tightening down didn't make any changes to my position. We're good to go. Next, we're going to work on getting the handlebars in a position that is comfortable for us and aligned to our front wheel. We're going to be using our 4 and 5 millimeter hex wrenches for this bit. So first I'm going to adjust the angle of my handlebar and stem into a position that's comfortable for me. Using my 5 millimeter wrench, I will tighten my stem bolt up here. Make sure I have a little bit of resistance on my clamp while I'm pushing it down to ensure my handlebars will stay in place. Next, I'll align it with my front wheel, getting a nice top-down view, making sure the handlebar is straight in line with the wheel. When I find a position I like, I will then tighten using my 4 millimeter wrench on my 2 clamp bolts on the outside of the stem here, making sure to tighten them evenly, alternating from top to bottom, giving a double check that I'm in line with my wheel. Next, we're going to install the pedals on our bike. There is a difference between the left and right pedals. In this instance, we have stickers on each of our pedals that distinguish which one is the right and which one is the left. This will be as if we are sitting on the bike. So right is going to be on the drive side. So this threads towards the front of the bike, or clockwise. So I'll give that a few turns. Get it in place. And I'll do the same with the left pedal. And this one tightens counterclockwise, still rotating towards the front of the bike. And then using my 15 millimeter wrench, I will do my final tighten down of the pedals. And now we have everything on our bike. Due to the nature of this being a mid-drive bike, it is very important that this shifting is very accurate. So we highly recommend taking it into a local bike shop or your Magnum dealer to have the shifting adjusted. This will help prevent any premature damage to the drivetrain or any of the components on your bike. Thanks everybody for watching this assembly of our Pilot mid-drive electric bike. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. All of our contact information can be found on our website, magnumbikes.com. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. We'll see y'all next time.